In this video, I'll show you the only plugin you need to integrate email marketing with your WordPress website. This plugin not only lets you create email opt-in forms for your website, but it's also a complete email marketing platform that lets you collect emails, send campaigns, and view analytics. But first, let's back up and discuss why email marketing is so important for your WordPress website. In a world where it's easy to be reliant on social media to communicate with your customers, participating in email marketing is the best way to guarantee that you reach your customers. Social media algorithms can bury your posts, and if you email your customer instead, you can feel confident that your message will end up in their inbox. You can also offer targeted, personalized emails to customers that can increase revenue. Research shows that by using abandoned cart emails, you can increase sales by up to 10%. And even if you're not running an e-commerce store, regularly engaging your audience via email is the best way to stay front of mind, and as your list grows, you could even monetize it by selling sponsored spots on your newsletter. So the possibilities are endless, but to deeply integrate email marketing with WordPress, you need to choose the right platform. One of the best options is Omnisend, and when they asked to sponsor a video, I knew they were a great fit for this tutorial. There's a few reasons to choose Omnisend. The interface is easy to use, they have powerful automation with deep integration to WordPress, and they have an incredible support team where you can talk to a real human 24/7. Omnisend has a free plan you can get started with for your first 250 contacts, or if you want to get started with a premium plan, you can get 30% off your first 3 months with promo code Krahler30. So to set up email marketing, we need to start by creating an Omnisend account. Head to the link in the description and click where it says Start Free. Now create your account using your preferred login method. The nice thing about Omnisend is that no credit card is required, so you can set it up, try it out, and start building your list for free. After you enter your email and password, you'll have to click a link to verify your email. Then you'll enter some details about your business and your account is ready to go. You'll see this banner to connect your store, and even though I'm using WordPress and not an e-commerce platform, I can still click this button to connect it to WordPress. Just scroll down and WordPress is right here. If you are using WooCommerce, check out my free course on building a WooCommerce store at Krahler Academy. I'll have that linked below. There's an entire episode on using Omnisend with WooCommerce to send abandoned cart emails and more. But in this video, I'm focusing on email marketing for general WordPress websites. And the first step is to install the Omnisend plugin for WordPress. You can scroll down and click this link to be taken to the WordPress repository and download it from there. But I think the easiest method to install the plugin is to head over to your WordPress dashboard and go to Plugins and select Add New Plugin, and then just search for Omnisend. And this is the one we're looking for, the one that says Newsletters, Email Marketing, SMS, and Pop-ups by Omnisend. Just click Install Now, and then Activate. And now you'll see there's a new Omnisend email marketing option in the sidebar, so head over there and go to Home, and then click Connect Omnisend. When you scroll down, you'll see that we need to paste the API key. We can get that by going back to the Omnisend dashboard, and right under the Install Omnisend button, there is this API key. You can just click Copy API Key, go back to your WordPress site, paste it here, and click Connect Omnisend. Now, to ensure it works, you can go back to the dashboard and click Check API Connection, and it looks like the connection is successful. Now, I'll show you the basics of the Omnisend dashboard, then we can create an opt-in form on your website. The first thing you'll want to do in Omnisend is create your brand style. To do this, head over to the main dashboard tab, and then if you scroll down, you'll see the option here to set your brand style. Now you have the opportunity to add your logo, brand colors, and fonts, so that way every time you go to create a new campaign, it will already be preloaded for you and you don't have to keep adding it every time. I've got mine all customized how I want, so I'll click Save Brand Assets. After this, to create your first campaign, head over to the Campaigns tab and click Create Email Campaign. Let's fill out some basic info about our campaign, starting with the subject line. If you want to use variables like the contact's name in the subject line, click this little bracket icon and you can insert those here. If you aren't sure what would make a good subject line, you can also generate some ideas by clicking this button. It may be tempting to quickly throw a subject line together, but your subject line can make or break campaign performance. So to test your subject line, you can use the subject line tester linked below. Next, fill out the sender's name and email. This is basically the name and email address that you want the campaign to come from. You can also enter the pre-header text, which is the content that shows after the subject line in some email clients. I'll just say open for details on our brand new WooCommerce course. And then campaign name is optional. This is just for internal use. So in your Omnisend dashboard, this is what this particular email will be referred to as. Everything looks good, so I'll click Choose Email Template. You'll see there are quite a few pre-made templates to choose from. Now, some of them are going to pull from your brand style, but most of them are going to be unique designs, as you can see here. If you want to filter by templates that will use your logo and brand style, just check this box that says branded. So now if I preview any of these, I'll see my logo is already here and my brand color is used for buttons. I'm just going to look for a template that seems like it'll work. And let's preview this one. This will work for a basic campaign, so I'll click Choose Template. Now you can build out your email using Omnisend's drag and drop editor. If you want to add a new element, go over to the Quick Add tab, select your element, and drag and drop where you'd like it. And if you need some help writing your copy, select the desired text box and click the little wand icon right here, and then AI can help you with a number of things like improving grammar, regenerating text, or continuing writing what you've started. When your email is ready to go, click Save and choose Recipients. Then you can choose to send it to all of your subscribers or choose a specific segment of your list. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, I have no subscribers to send my emails to, so how do I start growing my list? And the best way to do that is through a compelling call to action on your website. That could look like offering a discount, giving away an ebook, or offering some value add to visitors in exchange for subscribing to your list. Let's start by creating an email list opt-in form on our website. There's a few ways to do this within WordPress. If we head over to the WordPress dashboard and go to Add-ons under Omnisend, you'll see there's a lot of plugins with direct integrations like Gravity Forms, Contact Form 7, Opt-in Monster, and Mail Opt-in, but most of these plugins require an additional subscription fee. So I'm going to show you how we can create a form directly within Omnisend and avoid having to use a third-party plugin. First, I want to make a basic embeddable form that we can use on any page. To do this, head over to the Omnisend dashboard and click the Forms tab. If you click Preview and Launch Form, this is going to make a pop-up form, and I'm going to show you how to do that later, but since I want to start with an embeddable form, I'm just going to click View Other Form Types. Then I will check Embedded under Type, and this is what I'm looking for. I like this branded email capture template. It's got our colors and fonts already preloaded, so I'm going to click Use Template. You can modify the copy as desired, and if you'd like to collect phone numbers as well to send SMS updates with Omnisend, go to the bottom here and click this Add Option button. And you can say Next Step, and you'll see Step 2 is already set up to collect phone numbers, so the user would get to step through. They would first enter their email, click Subscribe, they're taken to this screen, they can enter their phone number, click Submit, and then you can click this Success button and modify what that message looks like. And there's also the Subscribed button for the message if they're already a subscriber of your list. I'm going to stick to just collecting email addresses, so I'll go ahead and delete Step 2, but I would like to collect my subscribers' names. I prefer to personalize emails I send out and address people by name, so I'm just going to add a new input box and drag it onto the form, and it's actually set to first name by default. I'm going to uncheck the box to add a label so it's consistent with the rest of the form, and the field is required, so it looks like everything's good to go. If you want to customize the tags that get added to people who subscribe through this form, go ahead and click this Form button at the bottom of the screen, and then let's go to Audience Management under Behavior. Here you can see there's two tags that get added. Embedded branded is a little bit generic. That's just the default tag that's created with this form type. I'm going to close this and say free WooCommerce email and click Create New. So that way I remember what the tag means, and this will come in handy later when we set up some automation using tags. We also have the option to enable double opt-in, and there's some pros and cons to this. The cons are that subscribers have to click a link in their inbox to verify their email before they're actually subscribed. So as a result, you're going to get less subscribers. But the pros are the people that do subscribe are committed. They went out of their way to go to their inbox and click the link, so you know they really would like to receive email updates from you. In addition to this, it also weeds out some low quality emails or spam emails that are just gonna bounce, and that's never good for your email reputation, so enabling double opt-in could be a good option to get the highest quality subscribers. The last thing we need to do to activate our form is to embed it in our WordPress page. I'll click the form button again at the bottom, and this is the code we need to copy, so I will copy this and go over to the WordPress dashboard, and then go to my page that I want to embed it in. I'll just do it on the sample page. And all we need to do is embed the HTML. So in Gutenberg, I can add an HTML block and paste the code that we're given from Omnisend and then save it. And you do need to make sure that you go into Omnisend and click Enable Form. If it's not been enabled yet, the form is not going to function. So if you have any trouble after copying the code, make sure you double check and ensure that it's been enabled. Now that I've done that, I should be able to go to my sample page and view it. And right here, the form is fully functioning. I can enter my name and my email address and click subscribe. And look at that, the form works perfectly. One easy way to capture attention and increase conversions is with a pop-up form. Omnisend makes this simple. To create one, head over to the Forms tab in the dashboard and click Create Form. And this time I'm going to check pop-up under type, and I'm also going to check branded forms so we can use our brand style that we added earlier. I'm going to look for something that could work for an ebook giveaway. I think I'm just going to use this branded welcome discount template, and then I'll adapt it since we're giving away an ebook and we're not running an e-commerce store. If you are running a WooCommerce store and you want to know how you can use Omnisend to offer special discounts to your customers, check out my free WooCommerce course linked below. There's an entire episode in there on Omnisend where I'll show you how to set up discounts and abandoned cart emails. But now I'd like to show you how to create a pop-up form on your website, so go ahead and select your template. And then just like we did with the form, we can customize this as desired. And once again, I might add the subscriber's name because I like to collect that. I think it makes a big difference to have that personal touch in the email. But I do think for a pop-up, it's nice to just have one field, at least initially. It takes away a little bit of that friction. So I think I'm gonna do this in 2 steps. I'm gonna collect the email address first, and then the name on the second screen. And to do this, I'm just gonna click Add Option, and I will say Next Step. Now, step 2 is already built out to collect the phone number. I'm not interested in collecting the phone number, but that's okay. I can delete all of this and add an option for the first name. So I'm just going to remove the phone number field, the legal field, and I will add an input option, first name, remove the label. So you can see we've got step 1, enter your email. Step 2, enter your first name, and then submit. I'm gonna modify the copy here to adapt this to what we're doing. I'll say get a free ebook on designing your store. Let's just go with the WooCommerce course theme here. And be the first to hear about new content. Okay, great. So enter your email, and then maybe this button says get the ebook. And then step 2 will be great, almost finished. And then maybe something for our copy like what can we call you? Enter your first name, submit, and then success, thanks for signing up. As a thank you, you'll find our free ebook on designing your WooCommerce store in your email. And we can also modify what the message is if they're already subscribed. I think I'm just going to leave this as is. So the pop-up looks great, but the next thing I want to do is adjust when the pop-up shows up on the website, because by default, it's going to pop up as soon as the page loads, and that might annoy some visitors, but there are settings we can change that will make users a bit more receptive to it. So to adjust this, look in the sidebar here under behavior, and let's go to where it says display. Now, here we have a number of different options. We've got page visits, time on page, scroll depth, exit intent. So let's start with page visits. We could say that the visitor needs to go to 5 pages on the website before the pop-up displays. That way, it's not in their face as soon as they go to the website. They can read a couple different pages and then they'll be presented with it. This could be a good option. I'm still not a huge fan of it because you never know if someone's first visit to your website might also be their last. There's a pop-up trigger that I'm a big fan of that I'll cover in just a second, but that is an option if you're interested. You could also do time on page. This is really simple. You could say show the pop-up after 10 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever you'd like. You can also do scroll depth based on percentage. Maybe when the user scrolls 80% of the way down the page, trigger the pop-up. But my favorite trigger is exit intent. This essentially detects when the mouse is rolling back up to the browser bar. So you can see my mouse right here on my computer. If I roll this up to the browser bar, basically as soon as I touch this section of the browser bar, it's able to detect that, and that's pretty clear that the user intends to navigate away to the next website. So right when they do that, we can trigger that pop-up and say, hey, wait a minute, don't you want a free ebook or don't you want a discount? Once you're aware of exit intent pop-ups, you're gonna notice it on every site you go to now. Like you'll notice, oh, I just rolled over to the browser bar to leave the site and there's this pop-up. It's kind of funny, but it's effective. I think it's the least invasive trigger for pop-ups, and sometimes as a user, I fill out exit intent forms and it works on me. So I would definitely recommend exploring some different display options and finding what works best for your site. Now, the last thing I want to do to configure the pop-up is go back and select a tag for this. So I'm going to go to audience management. And once again, like the last form, we can add unique tags. Since we're not doing a welcome discount and we're doing an ebook, I'll just enter free ebook. And again, this is just for internal use so that I know I can create an automation for the free ebook tag. I'm not confused wondering which tag I'm supposed to use and what tag is associated with what pop-up. So now that I have the tags configured and the display settings configured, I will just click Enable Form. Now, since we already have the Omnisend plugin installed on WordPress, we do not have to do any additional configuration for this to work. We don't have to paste any code anywhere like we did with the embeddable form. It should just be working and ready to go. Let's go ahead and test it. Let's go to the sample page. I'll reload the page so we can get the changes. And let me just roll over the browser bar. And just like that, look at that, perfectly, the pop-up showed up. Let me put in a different email this time, since I know my other email's already subscribed. I can put my email, and then I'm asked to enter my name, submit, and boom, I'm signed up. Now, there's just one problem with the pop-up. It's currently not connected to any automation, so we're not delivering on our promise yet of emailing an ebook, but let's go fix that. Back in the Omnisend dashboard, I'm going to click the automation tab, and by default, we're presented with the option of creating an automation workflow for new subscribers. But I want to show you how to create that automation for our free ebook pop-up, so I'm going to click Explore All Workflows. And there's several different options we can pick from, but I think I'm just going to create one from scratch. So first, we need to define a trigger for our workflow. In the dropdown, I'm going to select Subscribed to Marketing. Now, if we leave it like this, anyone who subscribes to the mailing list is going to get the free ebook. But we don't want that. We want people who subscribed through our pop-up to get the ebook. So to further define this, you can just go to this Audience Filters option and select a tag. And we'll say the tag is free ebook and click Save. So now we have our trigger set up to determine when this email is sent and who it's sent to. Now we have to design the email itself. To do this, I'm going to select email under messages and drag this to the plus button. And just like we did earlier, we can select a subject line, pre-header, sender's name, everything we did earlier to design a campaign. It's all the same, so I'm going to take a quick second to fill out this information. Now, once you have this filled out, you can scroll down and click Edit Content. And this is going to take you to the campaign editor, so make sure you click Yes, Save. And we're back to the interface where we can build the email. Now, if you're sending your ebook as a PDF or another file, I would recommend uploading it to the WordPress media library and copying a link to that file and including it as a button in the email. You can't actually send attachments with Omnisend or really any email marketing platform. It's just not something that's common. So that's why I would recommend hosting the PDF on your website and linking people to it so they can open it directly in their browser or download it to their computer. Now, if you'd like to create automation that sends multiple emails over multiple days, it's really simple. I'm going to go to Create Workflow, and this time I'll choose a template. I'll just choose the welcome email and do Customize Workflow. And you can see we have our trigger set up. You can modify the triggers however you'd like, but then we also have this delay called a flow action. So we have our trigger, the delay is wait for 1 minute, we send the email. If you want to send multiple emails, it's simple. You can just add another delay. So I'll drag delay here. I'll say wait for 1 day, and then I can drag another email. And now the way this is set up, we have our trigger. We have a 1 minute delay before they get the first welcome email. We have a 1 day delay after the first welcome email, and then they will receive the second email. And you can build this out to be as complicated as you want. You could have 10 emails that send over a month, 20 emails that send over 2 months. The possibilities are endless. You can really customize the logic to do exactly what you want. So when setting up our automation, we targeted it to only send it to users who subscribed through the free ebook pop-up form. And Omnisend has powerful segmenting capabilities to target the right section of your audience for the best results. Let me show you how it works. Head over to the Audience tab and then select Segments. Here, let's click Create Segment. And there's a bunch of pre-built segments we can choose from. You can email active email subscribers who have opened at least one email in the last 30 days, subscribers who are celebrating birthdays, at risk to churn, subscribers who have clicked on promotional messages, lots of templates that we can pick from, but I'm just going to create one from scratch. This allows us to define as many segment parameters as we want. I'm going to start by adding a filter, and I want it to be our tag for the free ebook subscribers. So already our segment only includes those who have subscribed through the free ebook pop-up form. But I want ebook readers who are really enthusiastic about our content, maybe ones that have opened an email in the last 30 days. So I'm going to add another filter, and I'm going to say open message at least one time in the last 30 days. So right now this segment is going to be any subscribers with the free ebook tag who have opened at least one message in the last 30 days. I'll click Save and Show Contacts and give it a name. And obviously it's showing 0 contacts because we just created our email list and there's only 2 subscribers, both of which are me, and I haven't opened any emails yet. But segments are updated automatically and they're fully dynamic. So when I create a new campaign and I select a segment to send it to, it's always going to have the most up-to-date info. In this case, the free ebook subscribers who have opened at least one email in the last 30 days. As you can see, Omnisend is intuitive and highly flexible. It integrates seamlessly with WordPress, and you can update your pop-up forms at any time, and the changes will automatically go live on your website. To check how the forms are performing, head over to the Reports tab and select Forms, and we can see both of the forms we created, the embedded form and the pop-up form. I'm going to go to the pop-up form, and we can see it has one view and one interaction with a 100% interaction rate. That's me. I signed up for my own email list through the pop-up form, but we'll be able to see more performance data as there's more visits to the website. The Reports tab also gives you a detailed breakdown of campaigns, workflows, and email deliverability. Now, if you have an idea on how you might be able to improve your form and get a better conversion rate, you're able to A/B test forms in Omnisend. To set this up, head back to the Forms tab and choose your desired form, and then go to the ellipsis on the right, click it, and click Setup A/B Test. You can choose the split on how frequently two different versions will show, so you can have your experimental one show 10% of the time or 50% of the time. By default, it's set up for 50-50, so all you need to do is edit version B and make your changes, and then 50% of the time your visitor will see version A, 50% of the time they'll see version B, and you can get that breakdown in your reports on which pop-up form is performing best. Now, I've covered using Omnisend for email marketing, but there are two additional ways you can reach your audience. Omnisend can also do web push notifications and SMS. Taking a look at the pricing page, you'll see that unlimited web notifications are included in any standard plan. And the Pro plan also includes some free SMS credits. And just a quick note on the pricing, Omnisend has a free plan for up to 250 subscribers. And unlike some platforms, Omnisend does not make you upgrade to access any features. You can access all of the same powerful automations, segments, and reports in the free plan. And if you do decide to upgrade, you can get 30% off your first 3 months using promo code Krayler30 at the link in the description below. To utilize SMS and web push notifications, you can select them as a campaign type when you create a new campaign. To send SMS, you'll just need to make sure that your opt-in forms collect phone numbers, and many of the pre-built forms include that. And for web push notifications, you'll just need to upload a file to the root folder of your website. This may vary based on your web host, but with most web hosts, you'll upload this file to the public HTML folder of your hosting via FTP or SFTP. Some web hosts may have an online file manager you can access in their dashboard as well. Once you upload the file, you can verify the connection. Then Omnisend will ask site visitors if they'd like to opt into web push notifications when the page loads. So that's how you integrate email marketing into your WordPress site. Omnisend gives you the tools to be creative and run experiments, and you'll be growing your email list in no time. When you're ready to upgrade, remember to use promo code Krayler30 for 30% off your first 3 months at the link below. Even if you're getting started with a free account, using the link below supports the channel, so feel free to use it if you found this video helpful. After implementing email marketing, another way you can optimize your site is by tracking analytics. Most people use Google Analytics to do this, but I think Google Analytics is overrated. I compared the top Google Analytics alternatives, and you can check that video out here.